Everyone, welcome to day 7 of shifting your financial consciousness. So I posted something on TikTok today, so I'm going to actually start off with a quick review of yesterday to talk about financial shadow work, because I know I posted a reel and a TikTok today and I didn't realize it was going to get that much traction. So I wanted to do a quick review for anyone that's tuning in for any shadow work tips. So with financial shadow work, I posted a tip to follow up that you should make a list of everything that you could not do or have or be due to your parents or you growing up without money. And so what this does, you'll be able to see what perhaps you may be trying to replace things that you didn't get in your childhood with things that you're trying to get now as an adult. For example, someone posted a reply, how can I feel more accepted? How can I feel understood? So all of that comes within you. So that's when you would create affirmations that, or do mirror work to say, I feel accepted, I feel understood by yourself. Because that's something that you should be able to tap in so that you are not seeking it externally or waiting for permission to experience that feeling. You need to give that to yourself. And then with one of my clients, we talked about essentially we worked for the past month on how they're giving themselves permission. And finally they gave themselves permission last night. And as soon as they gave themselves permission to feel how they wanted to feel, because they felt they were holding themselves back because they weren't where they wanted to be in business. So they were holding themselves back from enjoying themselves, having fun, hiring people, doing certain things in their business because they were waiting for themselves to hit a certain revenue. When you need to feel the way that you would feel when you hit that revenue now. And as soon as they gave themselves permission to feel that, they got the sales that they were upset they weren't getting. And it happens just like that. As soon as you flip the switch and give yourself permission and tap into yourself internally, it's a lot of work. I know that this is a live on TikTok and Instagram, so it's not like therapy session, but it's a lot of work. So, but that's just the framework. So I wanted to touch base on some financial shadow work that you can do. I didn't feel like that as a child. I feel it now as I transition to working full-time in my business. Okay. And so I'm going to bring up the slides on Instagram now, just in case. If you are watching on TikTok, on Instagram, we have the feature to upload slides. So I'm going to be uploading slides. And on Instagram, hey, how are you? I'm going to be shifting into talking about money, hormones, and hypnosis, because you may not realize this, or maybe you do, but your emotions are tied to your spending, but also to your receiving. But one thing is, But one thing is that you cannot, you don't realize that your hormones determine your emotions, which then determine your behavior. So I'm going to talk about the different hormones and how they affect you, just so you can think about if you are someone that does still get their menstrual cycle, you can think about your cycle. If you are under a lot of stress, whether it's in business or at work, you can look at the cortisol hormone and how that affects you. And so that is, that's exactly what that's exactly what is that. That's exactly why you're feeling this way during certain times of the month, or during a launch, or during periods of stress, like last year, 2020. So I'll cover that. If you aren't watching on Instagram, I'm going to be giving a description of what's on the screen, so you can be able to stay on track with me. So we are covering, yes. Let's get into it. All right. So hopefully that shadow, and then I also posted something on Instagram to help you with financial shadow work as well, just in case you need some more guidance. If you are on TikTok, you can hop and see it on my feed. All right, so let's get into it. So how much can hormones actually influence your financial decisions? So yeah, dropped in right on time. So the question starts with, let's talk about what hormones actually are and how they affect the body. Just to give you some background on who I am, I did research in undergrad for biology and psych. And so my research background is actually in genetics, but we did look at how a lot of people could inherit certain hormonal patterns. So I've always been familiar with hormones, but I really want to talk about it like at this level because people don't realize how it affects your spending. I'm sorry, I don't know why my slides always go out of order on my phone when I pull this up. So all right, there we go. So I just you see my face like in the screen on Instagram. All right, so how does this actually work? A hormone is a material that travels through the bloodstream from one organ to another with the goal of changing the second organ's tissues or actions. So if you didn't know that hormones actually can affect your behavioral patterns. So they work slowly over time, and they affect other processes within the body as well. So including growth and development. So if you had financial trauma growing up, or if you experienced long periods of financial trauma, that can affect you hormonally. So you feel trauma, you feel these shifts, and you feel these events, these life events on a physical level. So when people are telling you like, get over it, like, yeah, you lost your job like 2 years ago, or yeah, your first business failed, or like, yeah, your parents didn't give you a lot growing up, get over it. It's kind of hard when it hits you on the biological level, right? Like it's in you. Like these events changed you on a biological level, not just psychological, physically. So this affects your metabolism, your sexual function, your reproduction even, and of course your moods. And so, we all know now that hormones also influence our behavior. And so what is making money? What is spending money? That's behavior. So of course your hormones can affect your financial behavior in business. Like, what will you actually do the actions necessary to make money? Will you do the actions necessary to save money? Will you do the actions necessary to receive money? And so that can be impacted by your hormones. All right, so let's start with estrogen and testosterone. So estrogen is considered to be the optimistic hormone, while testosterone is considered to be your cash confident hormone. So together, they can cause you to be like more impulsive and adventurous. So like during your cycle, if you're someone that still gets their period, during your menstrual cycle, during the first 14 days or 10 days, you're going to be more inclined to spend and take risks. And so you need to understand that during this time, though your spending decisions and business decisions might be a way too optimistic. So it's always good to have someone check in with you or revisit your plan or revisit your spending during that period of time. Oops. Okay, so the next one is, oops, my slides are a mess. I'm sorry, y'all. Now, let's talk about cortisol. So, speaking of testosterone, testosterone linked combined with cortisol levels can really make you even riskier. I have a lot of clients that are traders, that are day traders. So this makes them more likely to have riskier trades or make those riskier decisions when they have higher levels of testosterone or even higher levels of cortisol. And so this is for acute stress, like a stressful day. But on the flip side, if you have long-term stress, like we all did last year, this is actually going to make you more risk averse. So when someone comes to you and is like, hey, I have this business opportunity, or like, hey, would you like to collaborate with me, or hey, I would love to book you for something, you're gonna feel more fear. You're gonna feel less likely to take those opportunities and those chances because of the effects of long-term stress and your cortisol levels. So that is how cortisol affects not only your decision making, but also your ability to see opportunities in business. The next hormone is dopamine. So I think if a lot of people on TikTok also have been diagnosed with ADHD, thank you. So you definitely are familiar with dopamine and how we are always seeking dopamine because we have low levels of it. So this is dangerous when it comes to spending and investing our money. So we actually have two reward systems. So we need to work on our reward systems to make sure that we separate it from the behavior of spending and investing, because we need to basically unlink that dopamine to money. So now for me, how I've been able to make more money or manage money is I don't really feel anything with money. So if you are following anyone, or if you are following any money coaches and they want you to feel the feelings and feel joy and feel pleasure from money, that's dangerous for you because you have low levels of dopamine. So you, on the other hand, actually have to separate and sever your your reward system to money, your emotional ties to money. So that's why I'm very cut and dry when it comes to money. So I don't spiral either way. I don't spiral if I don't make it, and I don't spiral or try to seek dopamine by spending it as well. So that's why traditional money mindset stuff doesn't work for you as someone that has lower levels of dopamine, because you actually need to sever your hormonal ties to money and your emotional ties to money so you can actually make it and keep it. So like with one client, they didn't experience, so they like to spend money, but they didn't experience anything when they saved money. So during a hypnosis session, we shifted their reward system. So now they felt pleasure saving. So every time like they would transfer money into their savings account, they would feel pleasure. Oh, good. All right, so I have, all right, and so the next one is oxytocin. So oxytocin, I'm glad it makes sense. I hope you all are with me. I was hesitant to like go into hormones because I know like the way that I present and the way that I teach and the way that I work with my clients is pretty cut and dry. So I know it's not like super sexy. So I was hesitant to share this one, but I knew that people needed to know. And hopefully it gives some people an understanding where you could kind of see your physical body, how it's working. That sometimes like you doing all the spiritual work, you doing all the healing and the mindset work, sometimes you need to return to your body and see what's going on there hormonally and physically, so that you're able to have this full shift, complete shift, because you're more, you're more than your body, you're more than your soul, you're more than your mind, you're all of these things. So it's important to look at yourself and you're shifting at these multiple levels. So let's talk about oxytocin. So studies have shown that oxytocin is actually linked to generosity and delayed gratification. So the higher your oxytocin levels, the more likely you are to give and the more likely you are to wait to receive. That is why for my people that I work with, I like to work with people that have purpose-driven businesses. Because when you have a purpose-driven business, we can tap into that feeling of your purpose so you attract more money, because we're increasing the levels of oxytocin. And so when you are tapped into your purpose, feeling those feelings of love and safety, you feel comfortable like waiting and being patient. Also, it's also linked to feelings of patience too. So you are more patient, realizing that every post, like you posting on Instagram, is going to eventually pay off, or you posting on TikTok will eventually pay off, or you sending daily emails will eventually pay off, or you posting on YouTube will eventually pay off, and that you love to do this because you feel these feelings of love. So it's important when you look at your business, if you are someone that's like at 50K, 25K in your business and you haven't hit that 100K, that's because you need something more than money. You need to have that feeling of purpose. And that's actually good because you can tap into that purpose to raise your levels of oxytocin. And so physically, you feel good in your business. Physically, you feel good doing business, getting clients, helping customers, posting on social media, creating content. People always ask me like, how you create a lot of content. First of all, like I have a team. So I have a team, so I could just focus on certain aspects of my business, but I also enjoy creating content because it's giving back. My prices for my programs and my services are on the higher end. So for me, I still want to help a lot of people. So content is the way that I help people. And since I don't have that dopamine connection to money, I don't feel bad or feel tied to really making money from my content. I focus on making money from my transformations with my clients. My business is mostly referral based. If anything happened and the internet went down, I would still get clients through word of mouth, because I focus on my purpose. I focus on my skills. I focus on my knowledge to make sure I'm able to give, actually meet the promises that I promote on social. So essentially that's what you need to do. Purpose can be about yourself. Purpose can be anything. Purpose is something that's very personal to you. Oh, thank you so much, Sharon. I'm so glad that it makes sense. Yeah. And so with looking at the hormones now and understanding how money affects you, could possibly affect you physically, I want to reiterate that with hypnosis, we can make your hormones start working for you. So first, we would shift your reward system to save versus spend, and to increase your oxytocin by making you feel loved. So you are not seeking fast cash or sales, because you already feel the feelings of having that money, that freedom and love. And then we would also use hypnosis to lower your stress levels so you can reduce the impact of cortisol. So if you have been experiencing high levels of stress, which we all have, long-term stress for the past year, this is something you should look into. And so with the financial consciousness framework that I developed within my practice, we shift your hormone levels at the physical layer, which allows us to shift into the other layers. So what people don't, it's not just money mindset. It's not just emotions and money. It's not just energy and money. It's all of that, everything, all of the above. So once we start to shift your hormones and reset your reward system on the physical level, then we could get into the energetics. I cannot tell you why your crush keeps appearing in your dream. I work with business owners and people, millennials, so I'm not really sure how old you are, but this is for my account. Like, I really make it clear for my account that I work with business owners, and I'm not a mental health professional. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a dream worker. I don't do any of that. I stay in my lane, and I'm purpose driven, so I wouldn't even be able to post that often if I did start just making random content. So once we finish the physical, we'll shift into energetic, then mental, then unconscious, then soul. Like, it goes up, 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 up. And so it's like, when you think about your shift, if you want to do this on your own, you should first start with the physical, then move into energetics, then move into mental, then move into the unconscious, and then move into the soul. And so this is what we do in Flip the Switch Weekend. We work through all those layers. We get that this is not like a money mindset workshop. This is deep healing. I don't really spend a lot of time on the lecture. I do give like the framework, and we talk about stuff, and we have time for Q&A, but we really just get down to the hypnosis aspect, and we do it at a group setting. So the group setting is also beneficial for the feelings to help with oxytocin. So it really calms everyone down, being in this group setting and knowing and feeling comforted that you aren't alone in this, and you aren't alone in this transformation or taking the step. So it's just a really good experience and opportunity for you if this is something that has just been bothering you or keeping you from doing the things that you want and hitting your potential. It's something I created this because I wish I had this program when I was doing this work. It would have made life so much easier, and I would have been successful a lot faster. So you should join us if you are interested in Flip the Switch Weekend. It's this weekend, it's 2 days, and we focus on resetting and clearing for the weekend. And then follow up for Monday through Wednesday is the Woke and Wealthy experience. So that's a new program. And so that is, sure, you can have, so in terms of the session, you can watch this replay on YouTube tomorrow morning. And you can click the link in my bio for the other live series, so you could learn everything about shifting your financial consciousness. So this is actually day 7 that you're jumping in, so you can catch up and watch days 1 through 6 right now on my YouTube channel. And so with Flip the Switch weekend, we spend those 2 days, and then we go into the Woke and Wealthy series. And then after we do that, you'll be able to stay in alignment with Sleep Your Way to 500K. So that is the brain training system. So that's with the hypnosis audios and with the subliminals, and then my special meditations that I developed. So I think you can tell that this is my jam. Like, I'm kind of obsessed with the brain, and like, this is really my mission. And so I just keep learning so much more, but I need you to know that it's not something I just learned. It's something that I applied with my clients and with myself. So the information and the content and everything that you are getting from Flip the Switch is something that I use with over 400 hypnotherapy sessions. So this stuff is working. And if you saw like the shifts and the people that are on my client roster, you would be like, what? Like, that person? Of course, I signed NDAs, but it's like, it's really astonishing, like, that these people trust me with their subconscious mind. So I really want to make it available to you all in this setting so that you can get the benefits too. Yes, it's just this weekend, but if you can't join live, you can always watch the replays. The way that I structure my sessions, I want them to be just as potent on when you rewatch them. So you can always tap into this in the future as well. Yay! So yay, Viva. Viva's actually one of my one-on-one clients. Yeah, so you'll get it. So you'll get the replays for the weekend, and you'll also get the replays during the week. Yeah, so I was recording subliminals all day, so I'm kind of like out of it. So it's like coming back from the astral plane to 3D is just like a little jarring. So excuse me if I'm a little short with you, because I'm kind of getting back to like talking to humans, because I was literally on the astral plane recording these, actually recording the audios for Sleep Your Way to 500K. So when I leave, I'm like, I come back is like, wait, 3D, and I had to eat, and so I'm like digesting and everything now, but that's why I'm a little out of it. But yeah, it's gonna be a great weekend. I'm really excited for this exploration with 33 folks already. So if you're interested, click the link in my bio. If you're just joining, the replay for this live will be available on YouTube tomorrow morning. You can catch up by watching the other videos. I try to share like things that I actually use with my clients and things that you may have not heard before. And I also, just so you know, my practice is designed really for neurodivergent folks and people that have experienced trauma. So me, essentially. So that's the basis of my practice. So it definitely is going to work for you if you're someone that's been diagnosed with ADHD, and if you're someone that has experienced trauma. Do not worry, I will not do a hypnosis that will make you feel unsafe. The method of hypnosis that I do in a group session is trauma informed, so you can feel safe even though we aren't in person. All right, thank you all for joining me live. Hope to see you in Flip the Switch. If not, I will be on tomorrow again at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to see the schedule for this week's lives, it's posted on my Instagram, the schedule, because we're doing the entire financial consciousness series. So you can be able to just like shift your financial consciousness if you're not able to invest in the program. So it's no worries. I'm recording this and creating this for free just to help you, so you can still get a shift even if you don't join Flip the Switch weekend. I want you to join because you feel like it's the next step. Can you post in the schedule? A video. Well, I don't. Oh, you don't have IG? Well, okay, so just show up. If you show up every day at 6 p.m., you'll be able to see. And I think, can you post, can you get notifications for TikTok? Yeah, I'll be live. I'll be live. Yeah, I only talked about 5 hormones today. Oh, the schedule. Let me just read the schedule off to you. So tomorrow, I will be talking about the one thing that you need to include in your 7-figure business plan. And then the following day, tomorrow is Thursday, I will be talking about signs that you have financial trauma. And then the last day, Friday, I'll be talking about how I went to charging $111 for hypnotherapy sessions to $100,000. So now my packages for hypnotherapy are $100,000. And of course that I don't have that publicly. That's the referral based system that I've been talking about. But yeah, so that's it. That's it for just for this week. All right, thank you all for joining me live. See you tomorrow. Doot, doot.